Voting is underway in Thailand's general election, seen as a potential turning point for the country. More than 50 million Thais are electing 500 members in the lower house. The military-backed Prime Minister Prayuth Chan-ocha is running for re-election 8 years after coming into power in a 2014 coup. Opinion polls are indicating major gains for the opposition at the expense of the governing parties in a likely test for the pro-military establishment. Let's go to Tony Cheng, who joins us now live from Bangkok. Tony, so what have been the main issues in the run-up to this election?
I think the economy is dominating the minds of voters here. But I think also it's a choice for them to either choose between the status quo. We've seen military-backed parties ruling this country since the coup in 2014, or to make a choice. And I think we've seen from the polls and the build-up to the election that many people do want change. They are not particularly happy with the state of the economy. They weren't very happy with the way the coronavirus pandemic was handled. And they want a more progressive, more forward-thinking government. There are lots of people turning out here where we are in the north of Bangkok. We understand that's the case all around the country today. The Election Commission says as many as 85% of voters could turn out. They've got a large number of people to choose from, 70 parties on the ballot paper. But it is that basic stark choice between status quo and change. I think a lot of voters also recognize that the vote they cast today won't be the end of this matter. This is just the start of the process. The Election Commission, which has favored the military-backed governments in the past, is already investigating the two main parties of opposition. Also, anyone who wins this election has to get over the military-backed Senate, which is 250 votes, and it looks like at the moment as if no one will get the overall majority they need of 376 votes. I think also there's a hope here that from voters that if they come out in very large numbers, and if their choice is very clear, then there won't be the option for too many people to interfere with the result.
OK, thank you for that. Tony Cheng there for us in Bangkok. Let's get more on this. We can speak to Panchada Seiwanabud, who's an Associate Professor of Social Sciences at Mahidol University. She joins us in Bangkok. Thank you for your time. Thai politics has, as we've been hearing there, been dominated by the military and the monarchy for decades. Is there a public appetite for change this time round?
Well, good morning from Bangkok. Yeah, this time, a lot of voters, especially the young generation, want change because of the economic slowdown and some of the things that the government cannot really handle it. For this time, there's a large numbers of people will go out to vote for the pre-elections. 90% of voter turnouts in Thailand last week, and this time we are expecting about 80% of voter turnouts. And this time, we can see that the high potential for the opposition parties led by, the pro-Thaksin, the former government of Thailand, so-called Pheu Thai Party, will win the greatest numbers of seats. But again, last election, Pheu Thai also won the election, but they could not really form the government. To form the government may be another story. Pheu Thai maybe has a very problem, to form the government after this election because, as mentioned earlier, it's really difficult for Pheu Thai to gain 376 in order to nominate the prime minister and to form the coalition government.
And you're talking about opposition parties. I mean, there's Pheu Thai, which is the popular pro-reform party, but this time it's also up against a newer anti-military party, the Move Forward Party, which is very popular with the younger generation, I believe. Tell us a bit more about them and how you expect them to do.
Well, in this election, I'm expecting, the Pheu Thai will be number one, Move Forward will be number two. But I think it's a bit really difficult for Pheu Thai and Move Forward to form coalition government together because Move Forward Party proposed the 112 article, which basically is about the, revisions or the reform of the lay majesty law, which is, I don't think that Pheu Thai would love to join this party in order to form the coalition government. If they want the government, to be in the long term, to stay in 4 years term, I think they need to find other political party that, have the policy go along with it. And Move Forward Party this time, we have a lot of young voters, about 14 million, and a lot of first-time voters. I think most of them are really keen to vote for the Move Forward Party. As you can see, is that, a large number of people, especially the young generation, they travel back home in other provinces just to vote. this is the really surprising circumstances in election in Thailand. We don't really see a large numbers of people go out of Bangkok and trying to vote or trying to cast their vote in the pre-elections day.
Yeah, that's interesting. And tell us a bit more about why, even if one of these pro-reform anti-military party wins, they won't be able to necessarily be able to form a government. I mean, what is the reason for that, and what is it going to take to change that?
Well, in the, for the pro-democratic party, it's a bit difficult for them because, in order to form the coalition government and to nominate the prime minister, the political party have to gain at least half of the whole house, both of the upper and lower house, which is about 376. And so far, if you can, from the poll that have report Pheu Thai or pro-Thaksin party, they can gain about 170 or 200 seats, which is difficult to form, the coalition government. Or if you have the, minority government, it's really difficult for Pheu Thai to pass any laws after they're elected. So I think this is a difficult time for Pheu Thai. That's why they have to find other political parties. And I think that they will form, they have a high potential for Pheu Thai party to form the coalition government with one or two from the political party from the conservative side. I believe that it's possible, for Pheu Thai to form the coalition government with the pro-military government or the incumbent government at this time of Palang Pracharat party and some other conservative side party, in order to maintain, 376 or at least 250 in order to pass the law when they have a coalition government being set.
Really interesting to get your insight. Panchada Siri Wanabud, Associate Professor of Social Sciences at Mahidol University, speaking to us there from Bangkok. Thank you.